Alright, so we've got our confirmation here on our CoinJoin, first round CoinJoin. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into the second round CoinJoin. Alright, so let's see, I have another file here that we're going to use for the second round. So if you're following along, it's a separate GitHub link page. So for the second round of mixing, we're going to use outputs of 0.125. So this was our goal from the beginning, was we wanted some outputs of this size. So if we were doing multiple rounds, you could always just make your fee amounts structured in such a way so that each round pays for the subsequent rounds. But since we know we have this, we can just copy paste this amount into anywhere we see CoinJoin amount. So let me just go ahead and paste it here. And just like we did last time, even though this is going to be a separate user, we could preset a template so that everybody's using, nobody messes it up. It looks exactly the same. You just have to add your inputs and outputs. So let's go ahead. We will go ahead and we'll get some new addresses from our wallet. And I need 4 because we're doing 4 inputs, 4 outputs. So here's my address 1. Address 2, address 3, and this may seem backwards since I'm doing it from the bottom. You could totally do it whichever way you want. You could go get your run list unspent first, so you just do this, hit enter, you can get your unspent transactions. So these ones we're going to ignore because their amounts are not the amounts that we want as input, so we need to make sure that we're using only amounts that are this 0.125035. So we're actually going to ignore the 4 and 5 from this transaction ID, and everything will probably be all the same on this transaction ID. So let's take a quick look. Yep, all those look the same. So we're going to be using 2, 3, 5, and 7. So here, TXID, just go ahead and we'll paste this. We did see it was the same everywhere. And it's going to be 2, 3, 5, and 7. Alright, now if we can get any of those wrong, again, that's like trying to spend money you don't have, so you definitely don't want to do that. So now we have all our TXID ins and outs here. We got our PSBT created. You see it's super quick, it doesn't take any time at all to do that. And there's our PSBT. So let's just take a look at it and we'll make sure that we use the right inputs and things are all looking right and all the outputs are the correct amount. So to do that, we're just going to use our decode PSBT command, hit space, Control V to paste that. And we have these nice, pretty, just totally wrong. I don't have this much money to spend. So you can see here, this is wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and fix this. The reason that it doesn't know that this is wrong because I haven't tried to broadcast it yet. If I tried to broadcast this transaction, it would immediately tell me that my ins and outs just don't make sense, and it's not going to take this. So I'm going to have to actually change this here. And since I was all brazen before and pasted it everywhere, let me just put the zeros here. I'll just type them in, so 0. So that is why you want to decode your PSBTs and your raw transactions. You just want to double check. It wasn't something that I was just saying lightly. You do want to double check. Again, the software is not going to let you spend more than you have, but you don't want to send this PSBT around and have people signing it. So let's decode again. And we will hit space, Control V, paste. That looks right. So now we have these nice clean 0.125 outputs that are going to be the CoinJoins for this wallet user. So what we're going to do now, we'll go ahead, we can place our raw hex there. I'm going to hit home to go back here. We already did our decode. So now we're just going to go ahead, we'll close our wallet. And as I mentioned before, you're going to see a totally different wallet balance. And then these recent transaction amounts on the side, see our top one's 1300, sorry, 1300 sats right there. And our total amount is this 0.5744200. So we'll close this out. We'll change our wallet name. And we'll reopen that wallet. And we'll be a different person. All right. Now we'll open Bitcoin Core. Takes a second for it to load up sometimes. So here, whenever you load up your full node, first thing it's going to do is load the block index, make sure everything's looking good. It happened so quick because it was already fully synced. It wasn't like it was missing any blocks or anything. But now you can see that our first transaction is 1,200 sats instead of 1,300 sats, and our wallet balance is totally different here. So hopefully that's somewhat obvious to you, so you can see that we're using two different wallets. Two totally different sets of private keys is the important thing to note here. So we'll go into our console, and we're gonna go and we're gonna get 4 new addresses so we can create our next PSBT, our PSBT from this wallet. So I'm gonna paste 4 times, and I go a lot farther on this one since we're up on the top. So I'm gonna paste this into address 1, address 2, address 3, and address 4. Now we need to get our inputs, so we'll do list enter. Again, we're going to have some inputs and outputs that we do want, some that we don't want. We only want the ones that are in the 0125 0325 amount. So they're all going to have actually the same transaction ID that this one had. So I could have cheated if I knew, but we wouldn't have known ahead of time. So we'll just go ahead, we'll paste our transaction ID in, since we know it's always going to be the same, and you can look at the first few, and the last few letters is always good practice with these hashes. They're hard to tell the whole thing, but you can always take a quick glance at the first few. So let's take a look at this V out that we got here. So this is 6, same amount here, 4, 1, and 0. So let's do this. So 0, 1, 4, and 6, and that's it. We should be ready to roll here. Copy paste, and now we have a PSBT. Let's take a look at this one. Don't want to wild out too much, and just assume things are okay. We can see our 4 outputs. Those look correct. The 0.0125. And hopefully our inputs are correct as well. I'm supposed to put my raw hex here. I'm going to hit home. And we are going to send our PSBTs to the coordinator. So this time we're going to coordinate from this wallet. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste right here in between those 2 double quotes. I'm going to hit home, and since that was this raw hex here, we just need to get the other one. This is the first hex, and we're going to do Control C, and we'll drop it, Control D. And if we go to the next line, I just hit backspace, and we hit home. I'm just going to select this whole row, hit Control C. We're going to join those PSBTs. Now we have our joined PSBT here, and we can actually decode this too. And now we should see 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we have all of our inputs, these nice clean 0.125s. Looking very, very nice there. Those are all our witness or the transactions that we're spending from. And we have just joined our PSBTs. So now we could take this hex that was returned, and we could just paste it here. And you're going to notice that last time we just did wallet process PSBT. This time I have true all false. The reason that I have that is because there is a possible privacy leak that you may want to be concerned about. I was discussing it on Twitter with somebody, actually Andrew Chow, who invented PSBT, as far as I understand. He was saying that there is a privacy leak that you may want to use this command for. I looked it up in the docs, and it actually is the default setting. So right now you don't have to do this, but he said there's a PR that's going to possibly change that. So in the future, it may be something to be concerned about. Right now, probably not so much. Let's close that. But in any event, we'll just use it for now. So we'll just say Control V. We're going to paste our hex there. I'm going to say home, and then we'll just copy this full line. Control C, on Control V here. And we got our false, which again is totally fine. We're not worried about that because this has not been signed by all users. This has been signed by this user though. So we'll just go ahead, we'll copy that whole PSBT, and this is going to be, I'll paste it right here, and we'll go home. And now what we can do is we're actually going to be able to use the same exact command. I'll just copy that again to my clipboard. You can use the same command in the next wallet, just like we did last time. So let's close our console, close our node, rename our wallet. And reopen the node. And mine, I think it takes a second to open because it uses Tor as a hidden service to connect. There's ways that you can configure that very easily in this version of Bitcoin Core. So I may have clicked that twice because I wasn't being patient. So we'll see. When I do the video on how to set up the testnet node, I'll show how to do the Tor integration. You also have to download Tor separately and set it up as a service on your computer. But then once you have that, Bitcoin Core can connect to that. So let's just go ahead. We'll open up our console, and I should have the right command just already in my clipboard. And here we can see we do have the true all false at the end. This is to protect privacy, so this will help you in the future. Right now this is the default setting, so you won't have a privacy leak when you share these PSBTs with other people. But what the concern is that you could leak your xpub, which is all your public keys, all the possible public keys that you can create, which is all those get new addresses that we've been running. And if somebody knows all the addresses you can create, then all of a sudden this CoinJoin method, that's probably not very valuable. So you do want to protect your derivation paths here, so that you don't let anybody know that they can't take your coins, but it is a privacy concern. So in any event, we've got the PSBT now. This has been wallet processed by this user, and I'm going to hit home there. So now we have the wallet processed PSBT from wallet 1 and wallet 2, and now we're just going to combine these. So I'm going to just go right in between those double quotes, hit enter, and I'm going to go back, and now we will go get the PSBT from wallet 1, paste it. I'm going to hit backspace there and home, and then we'll just copy that whole row, Control V to paste, and here we go. We got a combined PSBT. So I'm going to highlight it all, Control C, and let's just decode. We already messed up once. Take a look. There's our fee, 2,600 sats, which means that it could tell that there's this much left over. So I didn't overspend like an idiot, like you saw me do before. So we see all these nice clean outputs. The witness UTXOs. This is a lot more information. I do think if you're going to look and learn, this is a really neat one to dive into. So you could take some time with that. Now we got our combined PSBT raw hex, and we decoded it. We can just finalize. So apparently I ran the entire commands without recording anything, so I apologize, but I changed the wallet, opened up the console, I ran the wallet process PSBT command. I got my PSBT there that was processed, signed by this wallet. Then I combined it. So I combined the PSBT from this wallet and the other wallets, and it returned me this much larger combined PSBT. So then I decoded this. I went through it. We were able to see the witness transactions, and you're also able to see all the nice outputs there that it creates, the 0.125s, and it has a lot of information in here. It does show the fee, which I really do love. Next, I used the finalize PSBT command. So I simply just had this in my clipboard. So I ran the finalize PSBT command there. We returned the Bitcoin raw hex, and then we just went ahead and we sent the transaction to the network. And I brought it up here. I don't know if this is Yeah, I think this is the same transaction that we just did. Yeah, the 0.1 BTC, and here's the fees that we transacted. I don't know if it has a confirmation or not yet, but here you can see all the outputs, and then here is the final input. So I'm really sorry I didn't record that, but we already did see the process the first time. It's the same. You could just repeat it over and over and over again. In fact, I'll probably do another one and record that just to make up for this. All right. And anyways, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Oh, I mean, just to show you, you can start moving back from the transactions and trying to see, you know, who owns what, where do these come from, and it's very hard to see, you know, who owns what, where these things are going to, and how to follow the web. I'm sure there's some people that are really good at it that wouldn't have any problem at all, but hopefully you make it harder.